Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer with the Board of Public Works. For today, Friday, February 24th, 2023, we do have a relatively short agenda in terms of the items. However, we have a very special day today honoring our Clean LA graduates, and we welcome all of you to City Hall, and thank you all for being here this morning. For those of you that are joining us through the Zoom application, thank you for your patience. We should get started in the next 2 to 3 minutes. At this time, real quick for presenters, item number 1 will be presented by Larry Hsu. Item number 2 will be presented by Joyce Neal Amaro. Item 3, Paul Roch. Item 4, no presenter. And item 5, Saul Almeida. Item number 6, from the Bureau of Contract Administration and Bureau of Street Lighting, there is nothing to report, and we will read that into the record at the time that the board considers item number 6. From the Bureau of Engineering, Jonathan Carroll. From the Bureau of Street Services, Melinda Chow. And from the Bureau of Sanitation, Nancy Lanton. For those Bureau representatives that are joining us through the Zoom application this morning, thank you again for joining us this morning. Should the board have any questions for you, we will open up those audio lines for the Bureau representatives. Again, this is for Rose, Karen, Kezian, Clinton, Nicholas, Roosevelt, and Wesley Tanagiri from the Bureau of Engineering. Thank you all for being here this morning. For those members that are joining us through the general public that would like to provide general public comment or commentary on any of the items for today's agenda, if you can please raise your hand at this time by pressing *9 or clicking the raise hand icon if you're joining us through the Zoom application, which should be located at the lower right-hand side of your screen. If you're joining us live here at City Hall in our chambers, there are speaker cards located at the back end of the room. You can go ahead and fill that, the speaker card, and hand that over to me. We should get started in the next minute. Again, this is for members of the general public that would like to provide general public comment or commentary on any of the items for today's agenda. If you can please raise your hand at this time by pressing *9, click the raise hand icon if you're joining us through the Zoom application, or submit a speaker card if you're joining us live here at City Hall. I see one person that has raised their hand. Dr. Tom Williams, good morning to you. If you can unmute your microphone, just let us know which item you'd like to speak on.
General public comment only.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Williams, and thank you for your patience. We should get started in the next minute. President Garcia, we do have all presenters in the room. We also have 3 commissioners in the room. We have Vice President Villegas, who is out on an approved absence on city business, and then also, approved absence, period. And Dr. Davis should be joining us shortly. But you do have 3 commissioners in the room, and I can go ahead and start the recording and establish quorum if you like. Yes, perfect, thank you. President Garcia, you're now in record mode.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for Friday, February 24th, 2023. Dr. Campos?
Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call and quorum. We have President Garcia, Commissioner Scorzan, and Commissioner Reyes. President Garcia, you do have a quorum at this time. President Garcia, we do have 1 caller on the line under general public comment. We have no commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section. We also do not have any speaker cards on any of the items for today's agenda. Again, 1 speaker for general public comment only.
Okay, thank you very much, Campos. Since we have public comment, we'll take public comment now.
Absolutely. Dr. Tom Williams, if you can please unmute your microphone at this time. The Board of Public Works is now considering general public comment. You'll have 2 minutes to speak under this segment. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Dr. Tom Williams, Citizens Coalition for a Safe Community, LA 32 Land Use and Development Committee. We're quite concerned regarding the Streets LA project for Eagle Rock Boulevard. And basically a cycle plan redo of the Eagle Rock Boulevard from New York to Colorado. The meeting was held yesterday, and it was very nicely done. Thank you very much for the 3 alternatives. However, the issue of ADA compliance came up, and I say we've already done a little survey of Eagle Rock, and there are at least 4 major crossings that do not have ADA compliance. Others do. So it seems like ADA compliance is low priority, especially if you go down Broadway and look at the mid-block crossings, which Eagle Rock will have to have some mid-block crossings of the street. So it's a question, who is in charge of ADA compliance and the inspection for when projects are completed and you're getting ready for the final payment? Please give me a name, number, and email so that I can coordinate rather than having to hassle the meeting yesterday as to it doesn't comply, and Eagle Rock Boulevard does not comply with ADA compliance. However, the Streets LA individual said it does. So I say it's an easy way to find out. All you have to do is car drive up and down the street once, and boy, you already know it. The same problem occurs on Broadway, and the same problem occurs on 7th. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. President Garcia, that does clear the queue for general public comment.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos. Public comments now officially closed. Moving to the first item on today's business, which is the approval of the minutes for Friday, February 10th, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to move this item forward?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Commissioner Corson to move the approval of the minutes forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. Let's start the voting tabulation. Let's start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. All right, well, good morning to everyone. Now that we got off all the official business, I just want to say good morning, welcome everybody that's here, our visitors at City Hall, our staff that's here in person, and also I want to say thank you to everybody that's joining us virtually. We have a very special recognition today. We are going to celebrate the Clean LA graduation ceremony. And for those of you that are joining, yay, and yes, it's that. For those of you that are joining us via virtual, I just want to say that we have a semi-full packed house here with a lot of great visitors coming. And I'll just give a small, brief description of what Clean LA is and how it came to be and where we're at now. And then I'm going to pass it over so that we can celebrate the graduation or commencement or the ending of your time of working in our public right-of-way streets. And so we're very excited for what's happening here today. The Clean LA Jobs Program is a program led by the Board of Public Works, meaning our department here, and the Office of Community Beautification in collaboration with the Bureau of Sanitation, a Personnel Department, the Economic Workforce Development Department, and the Mayor's Offices of City Services and Economic Opportunity. So as you can see, the program is really well supported by many programs and departments here at the city. The program provides employment opportunities to underserved Angelenos to help clean the city of Los Angeles as a pathway to a full-time career with the city or in the private sector. And so to us, that's very important and I wouldn't say life-changing, but very initiative for the city to open a pathway this way. So we're excited that this is the first cohort, the first set of groups that are going through that pathway, through making sure that we have a career pathway. And I just want to say on a personal level, this is so exciting to me, and I'm going to have our commissioner speak as well. But I really enjoy the fact that we were able to do this as a team because it provides the opportunities for us city Angelenos born and raised here in the city of LA to start the pathway into city employment. Usually, we don't know how to get into the city. And so it's kind of like this mystery, but so far we have been able to open this type of pathway so that it's clear. If you do 12 months of public right-of-way cleanup, we provide you and attest your hours, we provide you with a pathway for you to either come to city employment or to go into a private opportunity. Why we think this is important? Because the work that you're doing out there is very crucial, and there's ways to do the work that you do. It's not just the regular cleanup. There's, you have to put cones out, you have to make sure you're safe. You're doing it in public streets, whether it's public, our folks in the public, but there's also cars and trains and things passing around. So it's a really hard work that you're doing, but at the same time, you're gaining those skills necessary to join the city, because once you work in the city, especially in public works, it's all about the public right away. That's what we focus on. So I'll keep on reading my official notes, but I just wanted to give on a personal note how excited and how invested I have been in this program personally and professionally. So since launching at the end of 2021, the Clean LA program has provided full-time jobs with our OCB contractors to over 250 Angelinos, cleaned over 40,000 locations, and removed over 2.2 million pounds of trash from city streets. That is equivalent of removing over 50 city buses from the public right-of-way. That's a lot. Imagine if we were not out there. I just want to say that. Imagine if we were not out there. This includes 118 active full-time employees currently enrolled in the program, providing much-needed cleaning service citywide on a daily basis. And the public might not know you. The public doesn't know any of us at times, and the public might not know who you are, but they see what you're doing. And that's really important. So personally, just know that what you're doing, be prideful of that, because you are providing a better quality of life for those folks that you're cleaning around. So thank you for that. Yeah, that does deserve. You guys are doing that. We're very proud of the accomplishments of the program and the effort and the hard work our program participants have made, which is why we're here today to recognize, celebrate the current graduating class of the Clean LA Jobs program. I know that it's easier to stay home, especially on a rainy day, but I'm very happy for those of you that made the effort to be here today. Look at this beautiful room, and just this is where this stems out of. So thank you, everybody, for doing that. Today marks the third graduating class under the program and includes 11 participants who have successfully completed 1 year of full-time work experience performing public right-of-way cleanups with OCB contractors, among additional program requirements. By completing the Clean LA program, these participants now qualify for city employment, vocational worker, maintenance labor with the Bureau of Sanitation, and we are currently seeking to open these pathways with our other bureaus as well. So that's phase 2 of this program that we are just kicking off now. So more to come on this. The Bureau of Sanitation, though, has been a really strong partner to us. Not only has Nicole Burnson, I want to specifically thank for that, because she opened up this pathway or figure out how we did this professionally. And second of all, so yes, to Nicole Burnson and to Barbara Romero for allowing all of this to also happen. But I also want to thank Oscar Figueroa, and if you guys don't know him, he's the mastermind behind the database. And he has been since day one trying to figure out the best way that we can identify these corridors. So thank you to Oscar. I know he's not here with us today. I have a lot more people to thank right now. We will, before I pass it over to our Executive Officer, Dr. Campos, and our Director of Community Beautification, Paul Raj, I want to just thank a couple people, specifically on my behalf. One of them, really strong thankfulness to make this happen is Kevin Gershom. I know he's not with us right now, but Kevin Gershom really picked up this program from zero to, well, it was already kind of halfway, but I just want to say that he really made sure that this program came to where we're at today. I also want to thank Paul Raj for his leadership. I want to thank Gabe Gutierrez, who's here too as well. I want to thank Devon Torsky, who's also here, Felicia Ortiz, who has been an integral part, new but very integral as well, Thomas Corrales, who at the beginning was one of we were really sitting down with paper and pen and identifying the corridors. So Thomas, I know I saw you. Thank you, Thomas, for being here and for helping us with that. I also want to thank Jerry and everybody at the OCB team who has really led on this project. The Clean LA Jobs program is really dear to our hearts because we're able to open this pathway. And as you can see in the pictures there, this is the work that you guys have done. And be proud, because it's important work that you do. So we have a little bit more to go. We have certificates, and we have a very exciting time for us here, and then if any participant wants to share any words, you're more than welcome to. Then commissioners will have words, and then we'll go out to the back and take a photo op for everybody, all of us in here. And I see Paul Gomez here that he'll be able to help us take those pictures. All right, so other than that, I just want to say thank you again, welcome to City Hall, and thank you for the work that you're doing for the city. I can't say this and express it enough, the city of Los Angeles is the second largest city in the nation. That's huge, and Public Works is the second largest department in the city. So you really are joining a place where not only do we serve 4 million residents on a daily basis, it's a humongous amount of work that we do every day, but you're joining a family that's really proud to be able to help and clean the city. And as large as our city is, we're very proud of maintaining the city. So again, I say this one more time, imagine if we were not out there. I just want to say that. Imagine if you're not out there. It's already a challenge and a struggle as it is. And so I just want to say for your work, for all that tenacity, for waking up every morning and getting up and going to work, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And with that, I am going to pass this over to Dr. Campos, who's going to lead us on the graduation, and then commissioners will have some few words to express. Thank you, Dr. Campos.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations, graduates, again. Thank you so much for all your service with the Clean LA program. Carlos, Darren, David, Sandra, Arthur, February, Freddie, Sofa, Christopher, Jerome, and Avery, and we'll formally say your last names in a few minutes, but thank you so much for what you've done for the city of Los Angeles, and congratulations. Commissioners, thank you again for taking the time to recognize such a special group, such an honored group, and a group that we definitely need for the city of Los Angeles as we clean up Los Angeles and make Los Angeles a more livable city and the best city and operated city in the entire nation. I do want to also recognize, as President Garcia has indicated, the many partners, the many departments, the many individuals that have put a lot of hours just to come up with the concept, not only from the abstract concept, but actually operationalizing this and actually creating that career pathway that President Garcia indicated. It takes a village, as they say. It not only the mayor's office, but it also included the Board of Public Works, it included the Bureau of Sanitation, the personnel department, so there's many individuals there. But the pivotal person for me is Nicole Burnson, and thank you so much, Nicole, for being here this morning, because the Bureau of Sanitation is our testing bureau, and we are actually creating this pathway. And so you are breaking the barriers, you're breaking that glass ceiling, and thank you very much, and Director Romero as well for your hard work and also your willingness to help us create that pathway for city employment. With that said, I also wanted to recognize our community-based organizations that are here: Coalition for Responsible Community Development, the Korea Youth and Community Center, and Northeast Graffiti Busters. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and thank you so much for partnering with the City of Los Angeles. I greatly much appreciate that as well. And to our OCB team, which I haven't seen in 3 years. I believe this is the closest I've seen to the entire team. I know that we're missing Karina, Ian, and Sal, but thank you all for being here. Appreciate it for you being here. It's been 3 years since I've seen majority of you, so I've seen each of you throughout the years, but it's nice to see the entire team today, this morning. So it's almost like a reunion with the Office of Community Beautification. With that said, this program not only creates that pathway to city employment or also full-time employment, but it's also a life-changing program for many of the graduates that are here before you. Some of the requirements that the graduates had to meet in order to be at this stage for graduation is they had to be in the program for an entire year, as President Garcia said. So a whole year dedication. The weather climate is not the greatest, but sometimes, it's extremely hot. Sometimes it's extremely cold, like today, and it's just raining. But we are out there. The crew is out there cleaning Los Angeles regardless, because we want to make this a clean city to live in. So in addition to that, graduates have to complete a Certificate 101 training. The Certificate 101 training is really about providing training in regards to job readiness, leadership, management, best practices in the field work, what to expect when you're out in the field. Also, any conflict dispute resolutions, how to de-escalate a situation, how to report a situation if they are confronted with any adverse environment out in the field. In addition to that, how to treat waste material, hazardous waste material. If there's something out there that needs to be treated in accordance to state law, we have to report that to our Bureau of Sanitation. In addition to that, they've received tablet training. Thomas Corrales with the Office of Community Beautification has spent many hours on cross-training the individuals on how to use those tablets, how to enter the data. Oscar Figueroa, who President Garcia indicated, he receives all that data and then creates these dashboards and the metrics. So a lot of back office, if you will, or back support that's happening in the program to make it happen, but we couldn't do it without the graduates here today. So thank you again for cleaning. Thank you again for entering that data. I know that tablet, sometimes it's that extra step, but we need that data so that we can report back to our mayor, report back to our city council, and also even at the federal level, the senators are looking at this program and securing funding for Los Angeles at the level. So you are really breaking ground there. You're really allowing us to make and tell our story at the national level, not just at the local level, but at the national level in terms of what it can be, what we should be doing to transition employees into full-time employment and more specifically, public service. So thank you again. Couple more requirements that the graduates have to gone through, and I'll try to make this fast. They have to go through an evaluation, so our partners have to evaluate their performance over that one-year period. All evaluations have to come in at minimum of satisfactory or above satisfactory to graduate. We have to verify that they've at least dedicated 1,920 hours, so that's equivalent to that full-time equivalency. And then also individuals have to participate in the graduation ceremony, which all of them will be participating today. Many of them have already submitted their applications to start the employment process. Many of them have also submitted their driver's license. There are a few that are still working on getting that information to us, but the graduates will have to go through a background examination. They'll have to go through fingerprints. They'll have to also take a series of other steps before they enter the city workforce. Once they enter the city workforce, then that pathway will ultimately lead them to civil service status over a one-year period. So this is a big culminating experience for the graduates, but it's also the beginning of the track record for civil service entry into city employment. So congratulations again to the graduates. Lastly, I'll say this and I'll turn it over to Director Roch from the Office of Community Beautification to say a few words. I do want to recognize the 11 graduates that are before you, but also you, commissioners, you've also had two other graduation ceremonies before the 11. We've had 20 graduates that have come before you in the past. These are 11, so this is 31. We have over 100 participants in the program, and we hope that all of them will graduate over the next several months. So it is a one-year pipeline development, if you will, or workforce development program, and this is just the third wave of the graduates, and we expect to have many more waves in the future. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Director Roch to say a few words, and then we'll go ahead and read the certificate into the record and then start passing out those certificates that the graduates have earned.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. I just want to add one last thing. Go ahead, Paul. I just want to ask one last partner that I failed to mention. It was the SEIU 721, David Green, who actually signed off on this, which was a big deal. And so I want to say thank you to him. I know he's not with us today right now, but he was a main player making the pathway a reality. So thank you to SEIU 721. Sorry, Paul Roch.
Good morning, Paul Roch, Director of the Office of Community Beautification. I just quickly want to congratulate each of you. I know it's not easy work. You've been out there when it's over 100 degrees. You've been out there in the rain. You're getting up early, and you guys have done this for at least the last year, in some cases a little bit longer. And it's, as was mentioned, sometimes unnoticed work, but greatly appreciated and greatly needed work. I see the stats on a weekly basis. You know, over 30 million tons are collected in most weeks by the Clean LA crews. And again, you guys are doing a great job. For the city of Los Angeles, the next 5 years are really going to have to be focused on this type of work and bringing all these different programs together. We have World Cup coming up in a couple years. I think the National NCAA Football Championship game is going to be here. Hopefully we'll have a couple World Series somewhere in that time. Obviously culminating with the Olympics in 2028. And I know for a fact that in 2026, when Our country celebrates its 250th anniversary. There's going to be a lot of nationwide focus on cleaning and beautifying across the country, including in Los Angeles. And you guys have really started that effort. So again, thank you. Thank you, commissioners, for your support of this program.
Thank you, Director Roch. And commissioners, before I start reading names and passing out their certificates, many of our graduates, this is a life-changing program, and many of our graduates have gone through a life-changing process as well. Many of our graduates are opening up an email account for the first time. Many of our graduates are preparing a resume for the job entry, seeking for full-time employment. Many of our residents are also procuring or purchasing a vehicle or buying a vehicle for the first time, going from public transportation into a private transportation. Many of our graduates have also struggled with many challenges over life. So our community partners, our community-based organization partners, CRCD, KYCC, NEGB, have really provided that support to these graduates. And so not all scenarios are the same, not all backgrounds are the same. However, many of our graduates have really made a quality of life change, a transitional change in their life that not only impacts them, themselves, but also your families and the generations to come as well. So we know it's tough, but we know that this program provides that support, those barrier supports that many of you are looking for. Many of you are getting a driver's license for the first time and being behind the wheel. Many of you, as I mentioned, getting an email account set up or opening up a bank account. And so those are big steps forward for many of you. Some of you already have those, but those that never had it, that's a big step for them, for their families, and also the generations to come. So I did want to make that recognition about this program not being just a workforce development program, a transitional program, but it's a life-changing program for them and their families and the generations to come. So the 11 graduates today will receive a certificate of recognition. Yeah. From the Board of Public Works, honoring each of the individuals, and it'll state the organization that they're from for successfully completing 1 year of on-the-job training, and they've met the requirements, including the City 101 and or job readiness training of the City of Los Angeles Department of Public Works. It'll state the Clean LA program and is qualified to perform general loose litter and weed abatement cleaning and maintenance services in the public right-of-way. It is signed by all commissioners. It has been attested by myself. And with that, I'm going to allow our staff to hand those certificates. I'll read the names, and then graduates, as I read your name, if the staff will provide you your certificate, if you can handshake them. And then at the end of the ceremony, we do plan to take photos as a group, so please stick around, and then we'll go from there. Great. So let's start with the Community for Responsible Development, as well CRCD, Carlos Mendoza. Darren Jackson. David Monterosa. Thank you, sir. Sandra Argueta. Sandra. Thank you so much. Arthur Acevedo.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Arthur. February Coleman. February. Congratulations.
It's your birthday too.
Happy birthday. Freddie Montiel. Thank you, Flaherty. Sofa Yem. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the last graduate from CRCD is Christopher Singüenza. Thank you, sir. Commissioner, since this is the last graduate from CRCD, I'm going to ask if Trina or Joe or Nora Cabrera want to say anything about their graduates, if you want to come up to the podium and say a few words.
Yeah,
Joe, go ahead.
absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Joe Gamis with CRCD. First of all, I do want to say thank you to the Board of Public Works for your continued support and letting us provide this platform for these wonderful individuals to shine. But it really is something special to hear their stories and where they were, where they are now, and where are they going. And it was truly an honor to have you guys out there. I know Paul mentioned some of the work that you guys do, and it's not easy work. And they came in every day full of energy, as you can see, and excitement. So thank you guys very much, and it was an honor to work with you guys.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, like Paul said, and Joe, you guys been here a whole year, and I'm very proud of you guys. You guys work hard, rain, shine, 100 and some degrees out there. You guys come back, to the yard sweaty and dirty, but proud of the work that you guys do. You're always proud of the work that you guys do. And it's been a whole year, and I'm very happy that you guys, work with us, and, you're ready to get a city job, right? That's the whole purpose of you guys being here with the Clean LA program, to get that city job. So I'm very proud of you guys, and congratulations. And like they say, the work that you guys do, it's dirty and it's hard, but guess what? If you guys didn't do it, then who? And, in 5 months, I just want you guys to know this. In 5 months, you guys, the CRCD Clean LA program, collected about 237 tons of trash. So imagine if you guys didn't do that work, just imagine that. So you guys be very proud of the work that you guys do. I know it's hard and it gets dirty and it gets annoying to be doing the same thing, but you guys are doing an awesome job. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank everyone here, for their hard work. Thank you all for supporting us and being here for us today. And I definitely want to thank Mr. Kevin Gresham. I know he's not here today, but he has been so supportive of us, because I started with GAP, and that was a journey, and this has been a journey too. So I'm just thankful, and I thank God for everyone here today that's all aboard, this journey that we've taken. So I'm thankful, and I thank everyone here.
I'm Johnny. I'm one of the drivers, and I want to especially thank Freddie, David, Sofa, Art, February, all you guys for simply making my job easier. I really don't have to direct them in anything. I just pull up to a location and they already know what to do. I appreciate that, and some days are harder than others. It's especially harder when it's windy. But we do our best to get the job done, and like I said, I thank them every day at the end of the day. I thank you today, and it's going to be sad to see you guys leave. Congratulations.
All right, well, there's still 2 more graduates that we want to recognize as well. We'll go with KYCC, which is Koreatown Youth and Community Center. Jerome Williams. Jerome? Mr. Jerome. Oh.
Jerome, welcome. Congratulations.
Jerome makes it around. Congratulations. All in. As Jerome received his certificate, Alberto Soria, do you want to say a few words?
Morning, everyone. My name is Alberto Soria. I'm the beautification coordinator for KYCC. I just want to thank everybody here, the board and OCB, and even the rest of the CBOs. When I started here, I started in the first initial batch of graduates here to start up the group. We're working with sanitation, working with OCB, trying to get the tablets, trying to get these routes ready, taking information from us to get the data collected for sanitation, and it was a great, wonderful experience with working everyone here, and just to see Jerome and see the rest of the graduates, it really gives me emotional to see where they come from. Like they mentioned, some of them come here with different backgrounds and different situations that they dealt in life, and for us, KYCC, to help them become professional, help them become a civil worker, work for the community, get that job out there, and grow into someone that cherishes their work is great for us as an organization. So thank you for everyone here, and appreciate the support, and thank you.
And our last and final graduate from NEGB, which is Northeast Graffiti Busters, is Avery Ruiz. Avery. Congratulations. And we'll invite Veronica Soto to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. So I want to thank you all for the invitation to be here today and to be part of this wonderful ceremony. Congratulations to you all. I've only been with the organization for a few months, but definitely as of today learned a lot more. And I look forward to seeing the program continue to be successful. Congratulations to everybody, especially Avery, Ms. Cheerful. Thank you.
Again, congratulations, graduates, for this achievement and reaching this culminating experience. We will move forward. Felicia Orozco, Devin Satorsky, Gabe Gutierrez, one of them will be in contact with you. Please respond to them if they ask any questions regarding your city application, driver's license, anything that they need. Please be responsive to them so that we can move you through the process with personnel. Again, Nicole, thank you so much for making this happen really for us and allowing us to open the door and break that ceiling, if you will, the glass ceiling, to allow others to move into full-time employment. So congratulations again, graduates. Commissioners, I will turn the mic over to you. And then after that, we can take some group photos.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Campos, for leading that ceremony. It was so special. And graduates, if you guys want to come out this way, we're going to take a picture in the back. But before we do that, I know that our commissioners want to also give some remarks. So we'll take it on. I'll go with Dr. Davis, Commissioner Corson, and then lastly, Commissioner Reyes.
I'd like to congratulate each of the graduates in terms of your graduation today. It shows your persistence and your preparation and your determination to complete what you started. And that task is going to be one in which you're going to be confronted with from here on out in terms of your career and in terms of things that you do in life. In the Department of Public Works, where we are, and the training program that is housed here that you have completed, one of the most important tasks we have in the Department of Public Works is service delivery, making sure that we deliver the services to the constituents of Los Angeles, and there are many services that we provided over the past and continue to provide on a daily basis. And among those tasks, cleaning up Los Angeles is one of the most important things that we do in the Department of Public Works. Certainly, sanitation, the Bureau of Sanitation, is very involved in that process. But I say all that to say that your completing this task of graduating is the beginning of the road to employment. And one of the things that we also do as an organization, the City of Los Angeles, is that we provide employment opportunities for residents in this area. It's one of the most important services that the city provides. And I think that what is most promising is that Mayor Karen Bass has already begun to observe and to identify a task that we have to complete. And that is that there are a lot of jobs in Los Angeles that have gone unfilled. And those of us on the Board of Public Works are committed specifically to working in ways in which we can execute the completion of putting people in those jobs under our jurisdiction of the 5 bureaus in which we have liaison responsibility to work with. You, as a graduate, are among those individuals who are ready, and some of you, as Dr. Campos has said, have already begun the process for employment. So I want to congratulate you today for all that you have done. It's no small feat. What you have done is critically important. You have put yourself on the pathway to write your own story. In your completion today, you now are part of the eligibility of working for, as President Garcia has said, the second largest city in America. And being a public servant is an honorable profession. And serving the people of Los Angeles, you should be proud to do that because you're from Los Angeles. So once again, I congratulate you and know that there's a sea of leaders in this city, starting with Mayor Karen Bass, who are carving out the way, providing a path for you to be successful. The first step was to believe in yourself, and you have shown that. And I want to assure you that those of us who have been entrusted with leadership are backing you up 1,000%. Thank you so very much for believing in yourself. We look forward to you serving the city of Los Angeles. Congratulations.
Commissioner Corson?
Thank you. Congratulations completing the program, but more importantly, congratulations on even thinking about and entering the program. Oftentimes the first step is the hardest step. But I was prepared to say something today when I saw the agenda item, but this gentleman down at the end with this incredible energy has made me want to change what I want to say. And that is, in LA, a lot of us need chances to become who we are. And it's oftentimes not easy. And in a city of stars on TV, on movie screens, we think that's it. But we're a city made of millions of stars who light up nights for our own viewers, those the closest to us, whether they're family or friends or coworkers. I say that because you're all role models for those around you on what is possible, what you can do. For someone like me, you're even a role model to come in on a Friday morning with that much energy. It's just contagious. It is incredibly contagious, and that's why you're all stars in your own way, that you can light up someone else's opportunity to show them what's possible and give them the energy when they feel down, when you're out on a 100-degree day, or picking up one more bag of trash, or inspiring someone else to be like, maybe I should look after my community too. So all that being said, congratulations. It's wonderful to see that a city program could change the lives of so many individuals one step at a time, and how you can inspire others to follow in your footsteps. I want to thank our staff who have been shepherding this along before I even joined the commission, and our community partners who are helping facilitate and grow this program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Commissioner Reyes?
First of all, I want to thank all our partners, the community-based organizations, our labor partner, our staff, for making this thing happen. Thank you for the concerted effort, the meaningful path that is now being created for all our graduates today. So with that, I'm very grateful. Now, for all our graduates, it warms my heart that you have taken that step and you're here today
with your certificates of appreciation, and you're ready to tackle the world. So training really is a passport to your future. Tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today, and you've done that. And that is, for me, learning, training on the job, is the mind never ceases to learn, right? It never fears and it never regrets the things that you have learned. And this graduation isn't the end of a tough journey or a challenging journey. It is a beginning of a beautiful one. So for me, I just want to challenge you. Always allow your challenges to build your character and your accomplishments to make you proud, each and every one of you. This is such an important moment. You did it. Your journey is only just the beginning, and it's time to use your brilliant mind, the things that you have learned, to pave your personal path to success here in the city of Los Angeles. We have always been the captains of our own souls, our own ship, and this exciting day, we are all proud of you that you've steered it toward this success. Pat yourselves at the back, be proud you're here. And as I said, there's no such thing as an easy path. Every path presents challenges, and no matter, you have to deal with them. You have proven that you are strong and that you're resilient, you're built for success, you are ready. We welcome you to our city family. We welcome you to take opportunities so you can be eligible for the jobs, the pathway that we have created. You belong here, and we want you to take advantage of that. Again, congratulations to each and every one of you, and wishing you all success in your next steps. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. This program in 2021, when it came to my desk, and we had our first meeting on this with Dr. Campos and Paul and a couple of folks. We didn't know what this was going to look like then, but we created something so special and so important. And I personally emotional because the mission of my life has always been to improve the quality of life of others. And I continue to wake up every day with that same thought. How do I make somebody else's life better? And just knowing that you can start a career with the city, because it's not just a job with the city, it's a career. This is just the entry part of your career. You step into the sanitation department first, into the city property. That's the first day of your career, because from there, there's so much mobility within the city, and all of you are welcome to that mobility, going up and up. So just think of this as your first step to changing the lives for yourself, for your family, and for the family that's coming after you, because this is a career pathway, and that's how we see it, and that's how we label it. And so I'm excited. I can't wait. Nicole, please send me an email, a text, smoke signals, whatever you want to send me, when our first Clean LA graduate steps into the yard of sanitation with their sanitation uniform and ready to go. I really want to see that happen. So thank you all for giving us this time, for giving us this morning. But it's a very special moment for me personally to make this a realization for not just you, but for everybody here. Because like I said, generations after you are gonna really appreciate what you did for them, and see that as that. So thank you all for this, and with that, congratulations to all of you, and to all the past graduates, and to the future graduates that we have. Congratulations, we welcome you. I'm very proud of each and one of you. And with that, we finish today's Clean LA Jobs ceremony. Thank you all. We're going to take a picture in the back. All of us, so commissioners, if you can join us out in the back. And for those joining us virtually, please hang on about 5 minutes. We're going to do pictures, and then we'll come right back. Thank you.
Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. President Garcia, I can go ahead and start the recording for you. Perfect.
Yes, please.
President Garcia, you are now in record mode. Just for the record, it's 11:09. We'll establish quorum. We'll have President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, Commissioners Corzine and Reyes. President Garcia, you do have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos. Thank you, everybody, for being part of today's ceremony, special day this morning. And just, now that they left, it feels like a void in here. So I just want to say that it was, nice and energetic. Not that you guys are not. You guys are also very energetic, but there was a higher notch to that one. So I just want to say thank you all for being here. And everybody that's joining us virtually, thank you for your patience. We will now get started with our agenda items, but that was really a special moment, and we wanted to make sure that it took the time that it needed. With that said, moving on to item number 1, this is a request from the Bureau of Engineering and Council District 9. This is a street closure, Paloma Avenue at Slauson Avenue, Metro Rail to Rail Active Transportation Corridor Project. And Mr. Larry Shu is here for this morning, but Larry, I am going to read 3, 4, and 5, if that's okay, and then we'll go from there. Recommending the board to 3, approve the request to temporarily close Paloma Avenue at Slauson Avenue for 31 calendar days, starting Monday, February 27, 2023 at 7 a.m. and ending Wednesday, March 29, 2023 at 7 p.m., subject to the conditions identified within the report. Recommendation number 4, approve the peak hour exemption request to allow construction work during weekday morning peak hours, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and weekday afternoon peak hours, 3:30 to 7 p.m., starting Monday, February 27, 2023, and ending Wednesday, March 29, 2023, subject to the conditions identified within this report. And the last one is recommendation number 5, authorize the city engineer to administratively approve an extension of up to 5 additional calendar days for the closure of Paloma Avenue and Slauson Avenue at the associated peak hour exemption beginning Wednesday, March 29th at 7 p.m. and ending Monday, April 3rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. if unforeseen conditions are encountered which may delay the completion of this project. And with that, Larry Shu, good morning. Pass it over to you.
Good morning. Thank you, President Garcia. I'm Larry Shu. I'm the manager of the Bureau of Engineering's Metro Transit Division. The Metro Rail to Rail Active Transportation Corridor Project will convert 5.13 miles of an existing unused rail right-of-way into a bike and pedestrian path connecting the Metro Crenshaw LAX K line with the Silver J line. The project includes work at 19 street crossings where the project crosses city streets. This request is for the closure of Paloma Avenue at Slauson Avenue for 31 calendar days, beginning Monday, February 27th, 2023, and ending Wednesday, March 29th, 2023. This request also includes the peak hour exemptions to allow construction work during weekday morning and afternoon peak hours for the same dates. This closure is needed to facilitate intersection improvements on Paloma Avenue at Slauson Avenue. As described in Metro's letter dated January 24th, 2023, which is transmittal number 2, this request is for a full street closure to avoid complex detour setups while also facilitating necessary construction activities. Recommendation number 5, authorize the city engineer to administratively approve an extension of up to 5 additional calendar days beginning Wednesday, March 29th, 2023 to Monday, April 3rd, 2023, if unforeseen conditions are encountered which may delay the completion of this construction. Major submittals for this work under this closure have been approved by BOE and other public works bureaus. There are no unresolved notices of noncompliance issued by BCA, and the worksite traffic control plan for the closure has been approved by LADOT. As part of evaluating this request, staff from the Bureau of Engineering Environmental Management Division reviewed the environmental documentation from Metro. The project and requested closure are categorically exempt. Metro Construction Relations has informed the public of this planned closure through a series of stakeholder briefings and community meetings. The team has made outreach efforts to one encampment in the closure area, In the future, the team will issue cards and to any additional unhoused population with contact information for different city and county agencies that provide services to the unhoused. City Council District 9 has communicated its support of this request. That concludes my report. We have staff from BOE and Metro that are joining this meeting virtually to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Shu, for that. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none. I do have a question. Are there any businesses that are going to be impacted with this closure?
I am not that familiar, but if we can direct the call or the answer, ask Metro to answer that question. I don't know exactly what businesses are in the area.
President Garcia, this is Perla Berry with Metro. There is one business that is Teddy's Tacos. It's a mobile business. So they will be moving north of the closure and the access to them will be maintained. Other than that, all the businesses have been notified and no impacts to those businesses is anticipated.
Thank you. Will this taco restaurant will they be part of your business impact fund? I believe that's how this is.
Oh, the business, this project is not part of the Business Interruption Fund, the BIF program, but we don't anticipate that they will have the impacts that other businesses have on bigger projects like the Purple Line or the Crenshaw project. They are aware of the closure that is coming up, and they are willing to move up for north of the closure itself. They've requested that detour signs and signs that says that Paloma is accessible from 56th Street is maintained in order to keep their clientele informed.
Okay, so if I heard you correctly, there's going to be signs put out there so that the customers of this restaurant know where to enter through, right?
It will say basically detour and local access to Paloma.
Okay.
So there will be detour signs for Paloma.
Thank you. And are those signs being manufactured by you, Metro, or by the business owner?
No, they're construction detour signs. So they're provided by the project. They're installed as part of the traffic control plans.
Okay, so like official type of signage, right?
Signage, correct.
Okay. Can I make a brief recommendation? Can you put somehow a banner or some kind of an additional signage that says, I don't know the name of the restaurant, but is open for business, or can that be, because sometimes even the detour signs can be tricky and people will get diverted if they don't know that restaurant's open. So I would strongly recommend that we make an additional sign that says the name of the restaurant is open for business, please follow detour or something like that. I just want to make sure that we do not interrupt any businesses, given the time that's so hard right now for them to really, make revenue. I don't want to continue to impact anyone.
I will discuss this with staff and work with the businesses on this request.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Mr. Shu, thank you for bringing it one day before, one official business day before the closure. So a little better than last time.
Yeah, we've communicated with our counterparts at Metro that the aim is to bring to the board at least a week before going
Perfect.
forward. We're trying.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shu. Commissioner Reyes?
I just want to piggyback. Thank you, President Garcia, for mentioning the access to businesses. My suggestion is also to strongly emphasize pedestrian safety. As we know that they should be aware of where the closures are, the signage should be very visible and understandable, because it's already causing, disruption to the community. That's one thing, but also the direct access to the pedestrian, multi-purpose mobility stuff that they can do over there is also very important for me, because we have that, emphasis on public safety. So I just want to strongly ensure that you guys are ensuring that there are strong signage, it's visible, it's understandable, and that They have opportunities to access wherever they want to go based on whatever paths you guys have created, despite the disruption to the community, that it will be clearer that the disruption is minimized.
Right. I could tell you this, that the Worksite Traffic Control Plan typically has both, detour for vehicle traffic and pedestrians. In this case, I'm not familiar with the plan, but I'm again asking if our Metro team here can address Commissioner Reyes's question about how pedestrians are handled through this particular closure.
So Larry, I can speak to that. This is Kirk Churley with Metro. In regards to that, on Slauson, on the north side where this is happening, there is no pedestrian access. There is no sidewalks on the north side of Slauson, so we don't have to worry about pedestrians coming east or west. From the north side, we are well aware of pedestrian access to maintain to those businesses, and we are keeping a pathway open to them, including the signage that Perla talked about for pedestrian detours as needed.
All right, thank you so much for that information.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. I just want to remind the Metro team that we are now doing in-person meetings. So if there's a presentation, we need to be in person. Unless there's an ADA situation, we definitely can accommodate that.
Right. Frankly, we brought this very late, and they were notified very late. So,
Okay.
But in the future, yeah, we
Okay.
will try to have
Understood,
folks here
Mr. Shu.
in person.
Thank you, Mr. Shu. You're always very on top of things, so thank you for that. All right, any other comments, concerns, objections to the closure? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 1 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that Commissioner Corson?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Corson to approve item number 1 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation now. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shu. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 2. This is a request from the Bureau of Sanitation in all council districts. This is a task order solicitation SN 139 CDM Smith Inc. Stormwater Program, Public Education and Community Outreach. Recommending the board to 1, authorize the Director of Bureau of Sanitation or designee to award task order SN 139 to CDM Smith for the on-call consultant list. And 2, approve a total budget of $1,100,000 to fund the services, stormwater, public education, and community outreach required by the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, MS4, Stormwater Permit and Safe Clean Water Program. And 3, approve the term of engagement beginning with the notice to proceed date July 22nd, 2024. And this morning we have Ms. Joyce. Oh my God, Joyce Neal Armato. I knew I couldn't say the last one. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, and good morning. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Joyce Amaro, and I am with Sanitation's Watershed Protection Program. And sort of in continuing the celebratory nature of today, I'm actually here on my 31st anniversary of service with the City of Los Angeles.
31 years, congratulations.
31 years, yes. On February 24th of 1992, I started with the then Stormwater Management Division in the Bureau of Engineering as a clerk typist. And I also met my future husband that day. So February 24th holds a very special place in my heart. So I am here today, as President Garcia mentioned, to ask your board to consider the 3 items that she read off previously. And as you are aware, Sanitation and Environment is the lead agency for watershed management and protection. and is responsible for ensuring the city's compliance with the public education and community outreach and engagement requirements of both the NPDES stormwater permit as well as the Safe Clean Water program. Without a stormwater public education program, the city does risk non-compliance with the 2021 NPDES permit, as well as the potential loss of Safe Clean Water program funding for projects. So for TOS SN 139, LA Sanitation went through the bid process with its list of on-call contractors. We distributed the bid and conducted a pre-proposal meeting, which was attended by 4 contractors, and we received bids from Atkins North America and CDM Smith. We then conducted oral interviews, and the panel unanimously selected the CDM Smith team, which includes the following subcontractors: Garuda Promo and Branding Solutions, which is an MBE, SBE, and EBE; B3 Media Solutions, which is an MBE; Harrison Company, which is a WBE, SBE, and EBE; S. Groner Associates, an SBE and EBE; the Morcos Group, a WBE, SBE, and EBE; and Mujeres de la Tierra, a nonprofit organization. The interview panel determined that the CDM Smith team would best provide the expertise, skills, knowledge, and experience needed for the continuity of services and would best serve the city's needs as they relate to the requirements of both the NPDES permit and the Safe Clean Water program. The scope of services included in TOS SN 139 falls into 7 separate tasks. The first 6 are requirements of the NPDES permit. The 7th task is a requirement of the Safe Clean Water program. And just briefly, those tasks include online outreach, which includes the maintenance and development of the program's online presence, including content for our web pages, our blog, and content for our various social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Task 2 is pollutant-specific outreach and includes developing and maintaining a point of purchase or point of sale program that places outreach materials in retail stores citywide. So your home improvement centers, garden centers, paint stores, pet stores, and really targets the proper disposal of pollutants of concern, including fertilizers, pesticides, paints, dog waste. Task 3 is school education and includes the development and maintenance of a school education program that makes outreach materials and programming available to LA area students and teachers. Task 4 is business outreach and includes developing specific outreach materials that will support our business inspection, Watershed Protection's business inspection program. Task 5 is municipal employee training. We are hoping to be able to produce 7 videos that will then be uploaded onto the Department of Personnel's Cornerstone portal for employees to be able to watch. Task 6 is program reporting and evaluation, and that includes the development of reports to the regional board for the NPDES permit, and then reports for the Safe Clean Water program that go to LA County. It also includes the development of measurements of effectiveness for each one of our program elements. And that's a new requirement of the NPDES, is the development of these measurements of effectiveness. Task 7, our last task, is our Safe Clean Water program community outreach and engagement. And that really focuses on doing community outreach and engagement for proposed regional projects in LA's 3 watersheds: Upper LA River watershed, Central Santa Monica Bay watershed, and then the South Santa Monica watershed. This task is subject to the city's business inclusion program. Requirements and sanitation set anticipated subcontractor participation levels of 18% MBE, 4% WBE, 25% SBE, 8% EBE, and 3% DVBE. CDM Smith performed a good faith effort to reach out to qualified subcontractors to fulfill the Business Inclusion Program requirements, and for this TOS, CDM Smith pledged subcontractor participation levels as follows: 12.3% MBE, 13.2% WBE, 72.1% SBE, 72.1% EBE, 0% DVBE, and 0.5% OBE. This TOS will have no impact on the general fund, and the total funding or contract ceiling will not exceed $1,100,000. Funding in the amount of $400,000 is available annually in the Stormwater Pollution Abatement Fund, and funding in the amount of $150,000 is available in our Safe Clean Water Program Fund, or Measure W. So I thank you for your time and your consideration, and I am available for questioning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce, for your very thorough report. Appreciate that. Colleagues, any questions? I see Commissioner Reyes' light is on.
My interest in this contract is changing the behavior of Angelenos when it comes to their polluting activities that impacts, the flow to our LA rivers, our creeks, our bays, and the ocean.
Yes.
Do you have like a percentage of what this will comprise in the total scope of work for this contract? Or an idea of how is it going to be scoped out when it comes to that specific part of behavior change for Angelenos?
I just want to make sure I understand your question. Are you asking if we have any goals on how many more people we will be changing their behavior?
It's like that's part of your scope, the scope of work, right, for this?
Yes.
What percentage in that total scope of work relates to that behavior change? Is it going to be a campaign? What type of outreach?
I see.
I'm just trying to go deep into the details because that's really my interest on the behavior change for that.
Thank you for that, Commissioner. My answer to that would be that every single one of our tasks will have an element within it that is hoping to change the behavior. So for instance, I'll use our point of sale or a point of purchase campaign. What we do is we typically do what are called shelf talkers in the home improvement stores or in garden centers. So if you're in the pesticides aisle, you'll see a shelf talker that will have a message on it that tells you, here are the safe centers. There's a tear sheet that people can take with them, and it lists the 7 safe centers where you can dispose of your pesticides when you're done with them. This measurements of effectiveness that I mentioned to you, there will also be an element of that, which will be how effective are we in changing behavior? You're right. That is the big thing. We want to also identify what are the motivators and what are the barriers to people changing their behavior. So really every single element of our program it will have elements of that in it. I don't know that I can give you a percentage at this point, but just know that since the early 2000s, changing the behavior of Angelenos has been at the forefront of our program. Like I mentioned, I started in '92, and I feel like we spent the first 20 years of my career really educating people about the storm drain system and making them understand that here in LA we have 2 separate systems. We have the sewer system and the storm drains. People understand that now. Now it's a matter of getting them to change their behavior, getting them to put their trash in trash cans, getting them to purchase a rain barrel and start capturing that rainwater, getting them to always pick up after their dogs. And so we really try and find those, like I mentioned, those motivators and those barriers. I'll use one last example, dog waste. We have canisters that we give to Angelenos so that they can put those on their dog leashes, with our thought being that if you have a dog waste bag with you at all times, then you will be more apt to pick up after your pet. And so we make dog waste bag containers that people put on their leashes available to Angelenos. So while I can't give you a percentage right off the top of my head right now, please know that that is at the forefront of everything that we're doing, is getting that changing of behavior within our program elements.
Thank you. Please continue doing that
Thank you.
probably ramping it up, especially during this rainstorm that we're having, right? So that we can avoid those floods in our storm drains. Thank you very much.
If I can just add one more piece. We recently translated all of our materials into 13 different languages.
It's beautiful.
And so that is another way that we are trying to get the message out there to as many Angelenos as possible.
Good. Thank you so much for that information.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce and Commissioner Reyes, for that. Joyce, perhaps what I would like to see, and to piggyback on some of Commissioner Reyes' question, is once it has been scoped out, I want to see what exactly our partners are doing. Like, what does the education look like? What schools are they going to? Like you said, I was really intrigued by you said that you put some signs on Home Depot for folks to know where the safe centers. Can you tell us where the material you're using? So I guess what I'm saying is I want to see a detailed scope of work. Right now it's a little generic, but
Yes.
I want to see
Yes.
a more detailed, when it's starting, who's doing what does the material look like, all of that great stuff.
Yes.
Because it's really important. And then I just want to make the correlation between actually our Clean LA graduates this morning and to our storm water, because they pick up that trash, our storm drains are least polluted because there's that pickup of our litter. And so I just want to say for the public and whoever's listening that it's the least we litter on the street, the least impact or trash goes into the ocean. And sanitation tries to do the best job to stop any litter going into the ocean, but it can't be 100%. So just today, I think it was a nice, synergy having the Clean LA graduates, because they are directly picking up litter in the street. So
Yes.
it doesn't go in the storm drain and it doesn't end up in our oceans.
Yes,
And then the
yes.
other correlation I want to make is that Paul Roch, who's here today also, we have the Rain Barrel program. And we took a small pause because there was a fluctuation in getting our rain barrels, not on our end, but, on our partners' end. But we have now once picked that up, and I think if I want to say correctly, right, Paul, we're back to a healthy pickup of rain barrels. So we'll have that rain barrel program back on again this coming year. So I'm excited for that too.
That's great.
So just making all these connections between our bureaus and our offices, and it's all public works at the end of the day. So it's one big family, and it all kind of works together as you see it today, live in person, as we're doing it. So, Joyce, just when you have that ready, can you also send it over to me? I'm excited to see what type of campaign you're doing to change the behavior. It's something that we're looking at overall as a department, including our illegal dumping team. We want to see how we can have some kind of campaign that changes the behavior. And it's not, it changes the behavior of our city folks not dropping litter on the street, but somehow finding it in a trash can. So how do we make that better? So I just want to say that those are all things that are just kind of putting themselves together here.
Yes. And just so you know, President Garcia, to your first point, we will do very detailed work plans. Once we have the TOS, once we've issued the notice to proceed, we'll meet with the team and we will develop work plans for each one of the tasks, and it will identify the subcontractors who will be doing the work, the amount, and the scope of work within that task. So we will absolutely share that with you.
Perfect, thank you. And I'm specifically interested in the thinking that's going to go behind the change of behavior campaign. And I just want, and I think Commissioner Reyes and I are very interested in knowing how that gets formulated so that we can see how we can, expand that to other places of our department.
Sure.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right, colleagues, any other questions, comments, or concerns on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 2 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 2 forward and forthwith.
Yes, we'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis. Is that an aye?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Commissioner Corzine?
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes?
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Joyce.
you.
Congratulations on your 31st anniversary.
Thank you. And just in closing, I did drop off to each one of your secretaries a bag that has a community packet in it. And it gives you a good sense of the materials. It shows the materials in the 13 different languages. So I would encourage you to all just take a look at that and see the quality and the caliber of materials that we have developed and that we will continue to develop. And then if there's any ways that we can partner with you or any of your offices or any other agencies, please let us know.
Please, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the gifts, too. All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 3. This is a request from the Office of Community Beautification for all council districts. This is a budget increase in contract amendment for Los Angeles Conservation Corps, recommending the board to, 1, authorize the Office of Community Beautification to execute a contract and amendment to increase the ceiling amount of an existing contract with the Los Angeles Conservation Corps by an additional amount of $9,989,960, and 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute the contract and amendments after approval as to form has been obtained by the city attorney. And this morning, we have Mr. Paul Roch on this item. Welcome. Welcome once again, sir.
Once again, good morning, Paul Roch, Office of Community Beautification. It's great to actually stand in here. It's been several years since I've been personally before the board. You kind of miss it. It's a good feeling. Good morning. I hope you maybe recall, or maybe you don't. A few months ago, I was before the board requesting a ceiling increase for the contract with the LA Conservation Corps that I think, as everybody is aware, provides numerous services to the city, from graffiti abatement to public right-of-way cleanup to the River Rangers program to Clean and Green. And now they're one of the partners that will be receiving funding for several new projects with the California for All Youth Grant as well. And at the time, we came before the board requesting a increase to the ceiling amount. And at the same time, the CAO, to my surprise, kind of said, how come you're asking for such a smaller ceiling? Let's make it even larger so we can all have some efficiencies in our work and have some room to operate under a larger ceiling cap. And so their report, which they actually did at the time and which has been signed off on the mayor per ED3, actually gave us an even larger ceiling amount than was originally approved by the board. At that time, it was approximately $4.1 million. But the actual report gave us a authorized ceiling amount of $14 million. And so that leaves $9,989,960 that we still have available to put into the contract with LACC to increase their ceiling amount, so that they will be able to continue the valuable work that they provide to the city of Los Angeles. And I do request board approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roch, for that report. Any questions, colleagues? I see Commissioner Corson.
Thank you, Paul. I do have a question, not about the funding allocation itself, which I support, but when we say we're going to increase the funding, are we going to also find a way to expedite how quickly LA Conservation Corps gets reimbursed?
Yes, I know that has been an issue. Actually, over the last several months, Anna Huizar, who was sitting here just a little while ago, works with them on their invoices and has been working very closely with LACC to ensure that they're getting everything in on a timely manner. Because in some cases, they don't submit their invoice until maybe 2 or 3 months after the work's been performed, and so then they start coming back to us. And in some cases, you know, we as a city maybe haven't had that invoice as long as it seems. But that is an issue that we continue to work closely with them on, you know, as well as with other contractors as well. We're not 100% to getting everything paid within, you know, the 30 days from once it goes up to accounting, but we're pretty darn close now. And for those that do go over, they only go over by a few days. So I think, you know, thanks to, you know, the Office of Accounting that really has worked well with us and understands the issues, and Dr. Campos has been working with us and helping, you know, all of us, you know, within our office and accounting and the board, make sure that those invoices move around quickly, get signed off quickly, and get up to accounting as quick as possible. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Just to piggyback on something, you know, that Paul has said, Commissioner Corson, you know, this year's budget, we are putting in the request once again for a community-based organization, small business accountant that it will be placed in our accounting department only to function for this portfolio, our contracted services. So we hope and to be successful on that, and we invite every one of you to be part of our promotion on that, Mr. Corson. So if you have any, you know, any special there, please make sure that you promote our community-based organization accountant. And it's important that we do that. We ask for it every year, and we're going to continue to ask for it again. In addition, the second piece of effort that we're doing, and it's very in preliminary stages, and I hope that it becomes, we kind of move through this a little faster, is we are developing with the Office of Procurement an invoice tracking system that would allow us to track the invoice. So that's, again, we're working around that and those two efforts. But I also want to remind that, like Paul said, it is a relationship with our contractors, including LACC, and there are times that it is on our end that we're late, but there are times that the invoices have mistakes, errors, and it has to go back to the nonprofit to fix it. At times, the CBOs submit their invoices late, and then we're put on the clock even though they're late. So there's a lot of factors to it that we are now being very closely looking at this whole situation. And so all around, it's a relationship, so a give and take. Sometimes it's us, sometimes it's them, but I do like that Anna Huizar is dedicated to LACC's contract, because LACC is now up to, if I'm not mistaken, almost $20 million of contractual services. And so Anna Huizar really takes on the helm on the invoice part of it. And basically, it's almost like a full-time for her. So I just want to say that thank you, Paul, for putting on those very efforts and making sure that we are more attentive to the payment of each of the community-based organizations. We all understand that those agencies are the hardest hit when we do not pay them on time. And so we're doing every effort that we can in accounting and in our office to make sure that does not happen. So again, if anybody, I'll do one more. We put it in the budget. We are going to request for it, and let's hope that we have Anna on the CBO end, and then in correlation, an accountant in the accounting office, and that should move things much more faster.
And our contractors are aware of that budget increase as well, and we know they're good for advocating for causes they believe in, and this is one that they do believe in. So
I agree, yes. Yeah. And LACC was one of the supporters for this request as well. Yeah. All right, so anything else, commissioners? Seeing none, is there a second to my motion to move this item number 3 forward and forthwith? Second. Thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 3 forward and forthwith.
Yes, let's start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos. Thank you, Mr. Roch, for this morning. Have a good rest of the day. All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 4. This is an administrative item. No presenter in this item. This is a finding to continue teleconference meetings pursuant to Assembly Bill AB 361. Recommending the board to, 1, adopt the finding and determination in accordance with AB 361, Section 3E3, that while the state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as originally proclaimed by the governor on March 4th, 2020, remains active, and/or state or local officials have imposed or recommended measures to promote social distancing, this legislative body has reconsidered the circumstances of the state of emergency, and that the state of emergency continues to directly impact the ability of the members to meet safely in person, and/or state or local officials continue to impose or recommend measures to promote social distancing. Colleagues, is there a second to my motion to adopt item number 4?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Commissioner Reyes to adopt item number 4.
Yes, let's start the vote. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the end of our voting items. We are moving on to our oral report section, and we're going to start with the Bureau of Street Services, status update on major upcoming street improvement projects. And this morning, we have Mr. Saul Almeida. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, President Garcia, Commissioners, Bureau Representatives, and Dr. Campos. My name is Saul Almeida, Superintendent with the Street Renewal Division of Streets LA. This information is being provided to keep the public informed on the upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize impact on the community as well as delays. For additional information, concerns, you can contact our coordinating section of the Streets Renewal Division at 213-847-3200. There are no major street projects scheduled in the metro or valley regions during the week of February 26th through March 4th. However, we will provide an update on our 2022-2023 pavement preservation program. During the week of February 26th through March 4th, the valley and metro regions will complete 15 projects for a total of 15.79 lane miles. The press releases were distributed and notifications have been issued. Streets LA has coordinated with council offices to assist with the outreach to stakeholders. We have coordinated with Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. This information is also available on Streets LA's website, streetsla.lacity.org, using the Resurfacing Open Projects icon. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Almeida. Any questions, colleagues? I want to say thank you to the Bureau of Street Services, and I know that this weekend's going to be very heavy for your department, for your bureau, so in advance, on behalf of the board, please thank everybody in the crews that are going to be working very under this weather inclement that we have. Thank you so much. Please thank them on our behalf, and just everybody that's going to be on alert this weekend, because for the public to know, during storm, Street Services really takes on emergency procedures because there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of there's just a lot that happens on the road, and Bureau of Street Services really turns around and pivots their work only to do storm-related projects. So thank you for that. I don't say only, but there's a lot of emergencies that happen, and I don't know the numbers, but the last storm brought, maybe I'm wrong, Mr. Almeida, you can correct me, was it 3,500 potholes? Just in,
Somewhere in that range. Yes.
yeah, 3,500 potholes, and I want to say almost like 2,000 trees that came down?
It was somewhere in that number.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the right statistics with me, but just colleagues, on behalf of us, please thank everybody that's going to be out there this
You're
weekend.
welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Almeida, have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right, and for our last item on today's agenda, it's contracts expiring within 90 days, all bureaus. And I will start with Bureau of Engineering, following by Bureau of Street Services, followed by Sanitation, and we do not have any report back from BCA or Street Lighting. Jonathan Carroll, good morning.
Good morning, Board. Jonathan Carroll, Bureau of Engineering, Project Award and Control Division. The Bureau of Engineering has only one contract set to expire. The contract for Populous, managed by Architecture Division, is set to expire on March 30th. We are working on an extension and aim to submit the extension for board approval by March 17th. That concludes my portion.
Thank you so much. Well, you were part of all these special celebrations today.
It was nice. It was
Okay,
nice.
good. Colleagues, any questions for the Bureau of Engineering? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Carroll. Have a good weekend yourself. Bureau of Street Services, Ms. Chow.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melinda Chow, representing Bureau of Street Services, Admin Division. We do not have any contracts expiring within the next 90 days covering March through May of 2023. However, we do have 5 contracts for our disposal services that did expire December 31st, 2022. And we had those contracts approved for extension for 1 year plus 1 year renewal option on February 15th, 2023 by the board, and these are currently pending the mayoral approval and execution of the amendments. The contracts are with American Reclamation, California Waste Services, Recycled Aggregate Materials Company, Herculean Enterprises, and USA Waste of California. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Chow. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
And lastly, Ms. Lanton from the Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Commissioners. City Attorney and Executive Officer.
Good morning.
Nancy Lanton from LA Sanitation and Environment Administration Division. This is Sanitation's monthly report summary for February 2023. We do have 9 contracts that are expiring within 120 days. These 9 contracts are our on-call contracts for our as-needed consultant services for the implementation of Sanitation's automation master plan. So these are our on-call services that are administered by our Information Control Systems divisions. The 9 contracts are with CH2 Hemphill Engineers, Nth Generation Computing, DCSE Inc., 3DI Inc., CDM Smith Inc., Weston Engineering Inc., Inflection Point Solutions, Parsons Environmental and Infrastructure Group Inc., and Tetra Tech Inc. These contracts are expiring on April 7th, 2023. There is a 1-year renewal option in this contract, so LA Sanitation is exercising that renewal option to extend it through April 8th, 2024. They are currently in preparation of the board report and will brief the commissioners on the status of those contracts. That concludes my report for this month.
Thank you, Ms. Lanton, for your report. Give me a second. Dr. Davis, a question?
No.
No. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, thank you. Have a good weekend, ma'am.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
All right, colleagues, that seems to be the end of our agenda items. Dr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. It is now 11:59, and this meeting is officially adjourned. Colleagues, we will cancel today's management meeting and wish you all a good weekend. Thank you, everyone.